Hey, what's up? What's up, man? It's early, man. Early as I don't know what. And last night was just a little night for me because I couldn't sleep. So, anybody that know me know that I go to the water. And when I go to the water, that's my solace, like my place where I go and think. Um, and I come up with ideas, and I talk to God and stuff like that. So, um, I put a video out, so if anybody haven't checked my video out, I put that out early this morning. Like I say, I put videos out every Wednesday, but the title of that video is BYOB. If you haven't looked at it, go check it out, please. There's some good information in there. But in that video, I touched on a little topic, and I want to elaborate more on that topic. So the topic I touched on in the video at the end was functioning in your dysfunction. And what I mean by that, I mean like justifying certain stuff or just lying. You're just lying to yourself. So, at this point in my life, I'm real big on energy, where I put my energy at, and where I choose to go and be around or whatever the case may be. But the thing about energy is, energy can never die. It'll just be transferred. So that's either negative energy or positive energy. It doesn't matter. Energy, energy is energy. So whatever energy it is, it'll transfer. Prime example is, like if you walk into somebody's house, like right after they finish arguing or something, it's just so thick in there, so heavy. You walk in and you're like, oh man, like your whole mood changed. Like that's the whole energy shift. So the thing about energy, the last couple weeks, my pastor's been preaching on like ego and like different energies and stuff like that. But one particular sermon that I like he preached on was the five faces of a man. And that's interchangeable too. That could be the five faces of a woman or the five faces of a man. But he did five faces of a man, so make whatever adjustments you need accordingly to whether you're a man or a woman. So the five faces of a man is the warrior, the lover, the king, and the friend. And then the fifth one is the face of manipulation. So you could change them to the queen or, however you want to do it if you're a female. But um, that face of manipulation is like, that's kind of like the justify or the settling face, like, because all of us have been in places where we've been manipulated or situations where we've been manipulated. And either we was the one doing the manipulation or the manipulation was done to us. And I just want to speak on that for a little minute. So I don't want nobody to take this video as me talking down or being negative about anybody, because that's not the case. But for sometimes when I go through stuff, like I talk about it. So a lot of the stuff that I say, I'm really talking to myself about it. So I don't want nobody to take it personal, like I'm talking to them, because that's not the case. So for me, I was in a relationship for 15 years, and ultimately I was prolonging the inevitable. So what I mean by that is, like, I knew deep down in my heart, we just wasn't a right fit. But because you stay for so long, or you may have a child or whatever, you just try to justify certain situations or certain things, and it's just not right. Like, and if it's not right, like if it's not right, man, you're doing yourself a disservice if you stay, because then you're doing something, you settling and you justifying stuff. Like, two things that's not really good. So even still, with doing those two things, you're not being your authentic self. So with not being your authentic self, whether it's a business relationship, personal relationship, or whatever type of relationship, is based on a lie. And anything based on a lie, nothing good can really come out of it or come from that. So, in that relationship, I was told, through, and I'm not saying I'm perfect, because I did my stuff, and, she did her stuff too. But it is not to point fingers or who did the worst or nothing, because we both did equal amount of stuff to each other. But the point I'm trying to make is, the whole manipulation thing was, yeah, if you leave, you ain't gonna see your son. And it's like, you kind of, when you're younger, you really know that, first of all, that's not true. My son not going to let you keep him away from me. Second of all, you justify that because for whatever reason, I don't know, for whatever reason it is, you may feel like, oh, we've been together for so long, we might as well, or oh, we've been together for so long, you mine's now, once mine, always mine, and that's a egotistical way of thinking. So you let your ego arise, and you cater into your ego, and if you cater to your ego, man, like I said, ego is just selfishness. All of us have some type of selfishness with us. It's just some is more prevalent than others. Some people are more selfish than other people, but all of us, to a certain degree, are selfish in some type of aspect, for real. But in that manipulation, once I really, got fed up and got tired of all the other stuff, it was on me. So I couldn't listen to other people say, boy, if that was me, boy, I leave. And like, you can't do that. You got to do what's right for you. And until you get fed up, you won't do that. So, really just take that into consideration. And then once you start elevating for like wherever you want to elevate from. So if you're a spiritual person, you start elevating spiritually. Or even if you're not a spiritual person, you start elevating like in a business aspect or whatever aspect, but you're bettering yourself. Like for some reason, I don't know why, I don't got the answer to this, but for some reason, you're going to lose people or things along the way. And sometimes, us as people, we don't really like change. We like to stay in our comfort zone and we good. If we don't have to change, we won't. And I think that for anything in life, once you start growing, you're going to have to change. So, you got to put up with certain stuff, and you got to just have in your mind, like, look, man, I got to do what's best for me, because what's best for me, like, whether it's tied to, like, a family or whatever. So, like, if you got to do what's best for you, that means, like, you got to sacrifice going out or something like that to start a business to make sure that your family is financially good, then, so be it. But sometimes, you'll lose like things that you really are fond of, or you really love, or you just used to it. So you might lose people and you're like, dang man, why this person out my life, why this, why that? And then it's like you really just gotta pay attention. You gotta look at, like, once you grow, either that person wasn't ready to grow with you or grow in the same way, or you just outgrew that person. And there's nothing bad, there's nothing wrong with that. A lot of people outgrow each other. But I think that, like the old saying say, some people put your life to be a blessing, and some people put your life to teach you a lesson. And I think that a lot of people go through the same things, the same lessons over and over again, is because they didn't learn from it. So you act the same way with this lesson that you did 5 years ago. That means you didn't grow, or 2 years ago, or however many years ago, or however many months ago. Like, you act the same way. You really didn't grow. So you gotta have, like, let these life experiences, man, make you grow, and like for the better. You really gotta be an honest person with yourself. If you're not honest with nobody else, be an honest person with yourself. So if you want to make something better, or be, a better, just you start with yourself, and then whoever else or whatever else around you, either going to adapt or either going to fall off. And then, if you spiritual, I don't put, my religion on nobody, but if you spiritual, whatever, just look at it like God taking the people out your life that doesn't need to be there, but he replacing the people in your life that need to be there. And from my experiences, every time God took something away from me, he gave me something that much better, or, like, just that much better. So for me, it's like, sometimes just being separated or being away from people that, like, oh man, God, this is not this. You really gotta look into the bigger picture. Maybe that person wasn't as happy for you as they said they was. They just was acting like it. Another thing, I really like, I really like, I really, really, really feel like that some people some people are so afraid to like self-evaluate themselves, or whether it's afraid or they push it off. They so afraid to do that because some people act the way they act because they don't even know themselves. So it's like, like if you don't know yourself, how do you expect me to know you? Or if you don't love yourself, how do you expect me to love you or know how to love you? So with certain these situations, you really just gotta be honest with yourself. So my aunt yesterday sent me a quote, and I'm a jotter, so I was meditating on the quote. I'm gonna read it, and I'm gonna attach the quote. I'm gonna attach the quote to this video too. So the quote says, "Be ambitious. Give maximum attention to the things that matter most to you in life, things you want to succeed in." So whether that's business, personal, spiritual, whatever it is, if it means a lot to you, man, you need to work on it. Change it for the better, man, and don't just get stuck in your way or stuck in your ego, and don't let your ego not let you grow. I just, I'm sorry if this video came off a little judgmental. That's not what I wanted it to be. I didn't want it to be no negative type of energy with it neither. I wanted it to be positive, but more reaffirming myself than anything. So I hope y'all took this video as positive. Like I say, I posted a video earlier today, and I got some other videos I post every Wednesday. So if you haven't checked them out, hopefully you can go and look at them, like them, subscribe them, comment. I read all my comments. I respond to all my comments. So I hope this kind of helped you. If you needed to hear certain things, I'm happy for that. If not, I'm sorry. But have a good one, man, and be blessed.